Me.
So, the Now of Pooh. In the morning sunshine, in the evening twilight, a small bear travels through a forest. Why did we follow him when we were so much younger? He is, after all, only a bear of little brain. But is brain all that important? Is it really brain that takes us where we need to go? Or is it all too often brain that sends us off in the wrong direction, following the echo of the wind in the treetops, which we think is real, rather than listening to the voice within us that tells us which way to turn? A brain can do all kinds of things, but the things that it can do are not the most important things. Abstract cleverness of mind often separates the thinker from the world of reality. And that world, the forest of real life, is in the desperate condition now because of too many who think too much and care too little. In spite of what many minds have thought themselves into believing, that mistake cannot continue for much longer if everything is going to survive. The one chance we have to avoid certain disaster is to change our approach and to learn to value wisdom and contentment. These are the things that are being searched for anyway, through knowledge and cleverness, but they do not come from knowledge and cleverness. They never have, and they never will. We can no longer afford to look so desperately hard for something in the wrong way and in the wrong place. If knowledge and cleverness are allowed to go on wrecking things, they will before much longer destroy all life on earth as we know it. And what little may temporarily survive will not be worth looking at, even if it would somehow be possible for us to do so. The masters of life know the way, for they listen to the voice within them, the voice of wisdom and simplicity, the voice that reasons beyond cleverness and knows beyond knowledge. That voice is not just the power and property of a few, but has been given to everyone. Those who pay attention to it are too often treated as exceptions to a rule
Hmm.
rather than as examples of the rule in operation, a rule that can apply to anyone who makes use of it.
Hmm.
Within each of us, there's an owl, a rabbit, an Eeyore, and a Pooh. For too long, we have chosen the way of owl and rabbit. Now, like Eeyore, we complain about the results, but that accomplishes nothing. If we are smart, we will choose the way of the Pooh. As if from far away, it calls to us with the voice of a child's mind that may be hard to hear at times, but it's important just the same because without it, we will never find our way through the forest. So, and then they have a picture of the forest.
Mhm.
so, so what are your thoughts for today
Mhm.
about? So, what do you think, Pooh? What do you think? So, do we listen to knowledge and cleverness, or do we just follow the way, whatever that may be, that inner voice that takes us through the
Yeah.
forest? Miss Tammy.
I'll just say what came to mind is to follow your gut. I mean, and sometimes when you're going on the wrong path or a path that's not going to lead you to what you really desire or the outcome.
Ah,
And I think we just, yeah, need to be like Pooh and follow our gut. We really inherently, I think, know what's like right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? As far as accomplishing what we need to. So that's kind of what I got out of that is, um,
thank you. Well, to me, the forest kind of represents all of the news, all of the social media,
yeah.
all of these voices that, right,
Yeah.
all this chatter that's surrounding us, and we
Mhm.
have to somehow go beyond that. All that cleverness and knowledge that kind of surrounds us.
Exactly.
uh, Sue?
I I agree with Tammy. Um, as she was saying, as her words were coming out, I had a shift away from what I was thinking. So I agree with Tammy, but I heard it differently. I I I took it at its face value.
Uh-huh.
So it of course made me think of Mother Earth
Mm,
and neglecting Mother Earth. And there are always going to be people who will deny whatever is happening, and there'll always be people who are on the opposite side of that spectrum. um but I think, I put it in the here and now, this particular reading, so I took it as a warning.
mm,
I took it as a warning to pay attention to Mother Earth
mm,
and to take appropriate action.
mm. Thank you. Wonderful response. And Miss Lee, I saw your hand.
Yeah, just to add on to Sue very quickly is what I thought was fascinating. This book when was this written? Because I don't know if this is a fairly new book.
Oh,
Because it really is like bringing to light what is really happening now. But it's been going on for many decades. This being aware of our movement through the planet and on Mother Earth. But what I got out of it, which, both of what Tammy and Sue said really resonates with me, was with Pooh being they say, a bear has a small brain, but that doesn't mean that's not, that this creature isn't important. But what it is really, I think, is saying that as we, us humans think we have the biggest brain and the, smartest, most knowledge, but when you're simplify everything and actually, I really felt it was speaking about the child in us, where we are innocent and we have the imagination and we do use our sort of intuition to move through life without thinking too much about things, and to really get to having these imagining things and creating things, and enjoying that without disrupting things. But then one other comment I want to make that's fascinating is that for our brain, in fact, the health of our brain, um, it is good to change our patterns. Like if you walk the same way to your destination every day, it's good to go a completely different route. I think it's really good about taking different paths to different destinations also. And
uh-huh.
that actually makes our brain better, but not in that sense of what, the knowledge of destroying things. I think it just creates, it opens up different pathways, our neurons. So it actually makes us see things differently, right? It's the perspective of going different paths instead of that trudging through and destroying or creating or going with just sort of this way.
Right, absolutely. I think about, our global, I mean, in a way, we're very blessed, all of us. We've all done global travels, wherever that may take us. And wherever part of the world, we see things differently from where we live. And that gives us a certain appreciation about, what we have, what we don't have, what other people have, and what does it all mean, and all the interconnectedness, among us. So, anybody else?
So you asked when
Oh.
the book was published, and the first one, The Tao of Pooh, was first published in Great Britain in 1982. And then there was The Tao of Piglet, which was published in 1992. And then this book is the combination of The Tao of Pooh and The Tao of Piglet, which was first published in 1994.
Well, I think the thing about Pooh in general is that his life lessons are through the generations.
Right.
We all experience very similar life lessons.
It's universal.
Mhm.
That's what it really is. It's universal. Nancy.
Um, my kung fu school's name is Xing Yi Dao, and my teacher's from Central China, and he picked that name from the writings of the Yellow Emperor's Manual of Health and Longevity. It's an ancient manual of Chinese medicine and philosophy that he got from his father and his grandfather. So Xin means heart, and Yi means mind, and Dao means the way. So his system is the way of the heart and the mind. Here's the thing though, it's one word. The heart and the mind are together. The heart has a mind, the mind has a heart. It's together, you can't separate it. If you put somebody on life support and their brain is dead, you don't have much of a life. If your brain is good and your body and your organs can't move, you're very somewhat limited. There's exceptions. There's that I forget his name now, the man in the wheelchair that did all the astronomy.
Oh,
He's
Oh,
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's.
very few that can use his mind to keep the body going. Most people, when their body collapses like that, their mind gives up and they quit. So what I learned from my teacher is you need both. You can't separate them. You have to go with your gut, but you have to also think. You have to reason. You have to be, you know, find the knowledge and find the teachings and find the logic. You can't always just blindly jump into things. So that's my take on it. Xing Dao altogether, heart, mind, the way.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Nancy. I love it. Wonderful interpretation. How about you, Miss Mary Beth? What are your thoughts?
Well, I really enjoyed it. Thank you. I remember seeing it. And a couple things came to mind. One I got corrected for yesterday. So I'll say it with like would Pooh, what's would be Pooh without Piglet. When you read stories of them and Pooh gets to learn all these childlike or come from that child's mind and have these adventures where he kind of gets in trouble. Doesn't he, Piglet's always there to sort of help stay, well, at least in some of the stories, but that's really to focus on that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it was a nice thing to hear at this time. And interestingly, to Lee's comment about the the neurons of the brain and changing course, it reminded me of the reading. Like it feels like with my mother's Alzheimer's, the things she did repetitively and had always done, like cribbage, she could beat you to cribbage to her last day. So they say something about routine. I think it's a mixture of like repetition, which I guess would have to happen in martial arts. Hasigasa, yeah, a bunch of times. No, that's so both, and it brought up this idea, world perspective. You need the heart and the mind, and then also, yeah, what people said. I agree.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Beth, for sharing.
Well, I think it's kind of cosmic that he read from this book today because I've never been a big Winnie the Pooh fan, and a friend of mine gave me a Winnie the Pooh nightshirt, and I finally started wearing it many years ago. And yesterday I took it out because I was going to throw it away finally. And I ended up wearing it last night, but it's pretty hysterical. Like it has totally torn and but and so it was just kind of funny because I need to get rid of this shirt because you can see it's like really from the reading I also really got about not being, for me, not being so much in my mind and being more childlike and being more in the present moment, and I have been working on that a lot lately. And to Lee's point, it brought up a story for me when I was at work. I one day went into my office and I got my office taken away, and I was put back at the front desk. And basically, how do you manage a place when you're the receptionist? And I came home and I was ready to quit. I was done. That was it. There's no way I could be my own receptionist. And RD was like, oh no, you have to go back. This is a teaching and you have to do it and go in a different way than you went before. And you need to bring flowers. So he bought me a dozen white roses. And he said, I have to walk to work in a different way than I've been doing all those years. And I had to go in a new way. And so we did, he walked me to work and we went around a whole block a different way to see things differently and to go in with a new attitude, and brought the flowers. And I changed my mind really quick about being angry and about being kind of demoted. And I went in and I said, I'm the receptionist, and I was happy and I brought flowers, and everyone kept saying, well, who brought those beautiful flowers? And I think my boss was shocked and taken away that I took it so well, and it just changed the energy and changed my whole work environment there. It was just so to your point about changing your way and changing your mind and seeing things differently.
It's a great story.
Great story.
Yeah, great story. And Reverend Barbara, what are your thoughts? Actually, that was at the Meta Center.
That was
I know, right? That's great. That's really great. Living your illumination, actually living it. That's really wonderful, wonderful. So I like the story, and I resonated with a lot of things that people said in the story. And I think about a time on this planet when people didn't have time. They were not handcuffed to time. They went about their lives according to the rising of the sun, sunrise, sunset, the position of the moon. They found their way with the movement of the wind, the movement of the oceans, the movement of the branches on the trees. They didn't have GPS.
That's right.
And it's to me, from what the story is saying, it's about being our childlike selves, tapping into our intuition, and trusting and following our heart, because sometimes the mind can get us into trouble because we spend too much time up there and not enough time in our hearts, not enough time trusting our intuition. There are still indigenous people who live in that way. The Bushmen of the Kalahari, for instance. If anybody saw that beautiful documentary, My Octopus Teacher, yeah, he learned how to track through the Bushmen of the Kalahari. So when it came a time when the beautiful octopus, he was looking for it, he used the skills that he learned from the Bushmen, and he found the octopus.
That's right.
And he trusted that. He trusted what he learned, and he trusted his own instincts, and he found the octopus. And yeah, just being childlike, in these adult bodies, and trusting our heart and trusting our intuition to move through life, and trusting the Pooh.
Absolutely. Well, actually, when I think about the octopus teacher, I always think about, the kelp forests.
Yes.
These waving kelp forests. Talk about the forests. And he somehow just swam through that. And one day he found the octopus.
Yes.
And the octopus said, oh, who are you? Talk about here's the Pooh. Who are you? And then they kind of like created this wonderful symbiotic, relationship.
Yeah.
Of trust. Talk about trusting trusting each other, and just open and using the intuitive abilities. Okay, today's a good day, today's not a good day, that type of thing. And literally following the waves, Yes. Thank you. Yes, that's one of my favorite movies.
Mine too.
Johan, you have to unmute.
Thank you for wonderful reading. It first came to my mind the lifelong inner in a fight for the right balance between everything, between emotional and emotional intelligence and the other, the brain intelligence, and the struggle, the permanent process. This is a lifelong process. I see it as this. There's no recipe to find your balance. You just have to do it any moment of your life. So this what this was what came to my mind. Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Actually, I just love the fact that you're sitting on your balcony terrace. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Miss Linda Boney, what are your thoughts?
Oh, good morning, everybody.
Mhm.
I'm thinking the same thing. I agree with what everyone said, especially Reverend Barbara and also Tammy. And it's about also following your instincts and following your heart at the same time. So I agree with that. I really liked the reading. It was very nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
So anyway, so that's I don't know, that just kind of came to me. That was my meaningful coincidence opening up the book for today. And so let's do a nice meditation. How about that? Let's do
Okay.
a nice, and actually yesterday's meditation was actually quite nice. I did a solstice meditation where I did 5 minutes quiet, a little kind of getting back, and then another 5 minutes. So maybe I can do the same thing today. How about that?
Okay.
So continue the solstice meditation. So that'll be nice. So,
Thank you.
so let's just relax. I'm going to mute everybody. And relax and just breathe. And actually what I do, I always like to have my hands just outstretched, and I'm just kind of embracing all of you in our purple chi ball. And just feel that chi of love of our family. So have your feet flat on the floor and just breathing in and breathing out and just relax. Oh, maybe we can imagine ourselves out in the ocean in the kelp forests and just feel the coolness of the waves gently rocking us. And just breathing in and breathing out. And let's just relax. Clear our minds. And let's begin our time together with the ringing of the bells. And just relax your entire being. Breathing in and breathing out. And just relax. Relax our heads and our necks. Relax our shoulders. Relax our arms, our wings, our elbows. Maybe you want to scrunch up your hands and then just relax your hands and your wrists and even your fingers. Gently breathing in and breathing out, like the gentle waves of the kelp forest in the ocean. Bring our attention to our hearts, just floating on a beautiful lotus flower, surrounded by pink petals, welcoming purple healing chi energy of harmony and of love and of gratitude. Bring our attention to the lower dantian, the center of our being, grounding us, connecting us to Mother Earth, the golden stove. Just breathing in and breathing out. Relax our hips and our thighs, just sitting so comfortably in our chairs. Relax our knees and our legs, and even relax our feet, our ankles, and even our toes, connecting to the solid earth beneath us. And just welcome, the Tao of the Pooh, this peacefulness, this love, gently, gently circulating through the entire connections of our body, to all the cells filled with rainbow chi, and going through the roots of our legs like the bamboo, going down deep, deep, deep down, connecting into the earth, heaven, humanity, and earth. And let's just take this time and just be. Gently inhale and exhale. and gently connect to our hearts. Just sitting so peacefully on this beautiful lotus flower, and our minds and our hearts are interconnected, filled with love and harmony and strength and trust. And just continue our breathing gently in, out. And let's all gently, gently come together at the beach. Just standing on the warm sands, just overlooking the calm blue waters in front of us. And let's all go up to the lighthouse, to the lantern, and to the balcony of the lantern. Let's all look outwards and share our hearts and our minds radiant, shining chi of love and of strength, of confidence, and of resilience. And also share our chi light to others who need the help and the strength. And let's gently bring our hands together in a prayer position. Just filled with gratitude and for our support for each other. Breathing in and breathing out. Our mudra of love. And gently release our palms and place it over our hearts, or over your hearts in your dantian, or maybe a gentle hug. And just feel the warmth of the chi circulating, healthy, vibrant, knowing the way. And I'm going to close our time together with the ringing of the bells. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Words filled with compassion and kindness and smiles and joy connecting into our hearts. And just gently, gently release your palms and just kind of rub them together. Talk about awakening our soul, awakening our chi cells for the day. If you want to gently caress your face, wash your face, and then just tap, 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 tap along your face and your cheeks and the eyes and the forehead, and tap, 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 top of your head. Rub your ears like a little puppy dog or a cat, and just tap, 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 tap all along the meridians very gently. Top part of the arm, the bottom part of the arm, along your shoulders, along your heart, all along your organs, your spleen and your kidneys and your intestines, and tap, tap, tap your thighs, tap on the ground like little Piglet and Pooh and the rabbit, and just stretch. It's the best day ever. Happy Tuesday. It's the 22nd of June, 2021. Hope you enjoyed the meditation. That was kind of nice doing
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
5 minutes and then
It's
5
beautiful.
minutes. So,
Can I just make a comment?
please, I
Yeah.
love comments.
Yes. Lee was absolutely right about repatterning the brain. Absolutely. You know, change your where you go to another route. Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to comment on that and I forgot. So I need to repattern my brain again.
We'll talk about
but isn't that what we do every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
even like, it's like even, let's say, brushing your teeth with your left hand or tying,
Yeah.
it's doing activities that you're, and it causes you to have to really really do something so different that
Yeah.
it just starts to fire off so that it's healthy for the brain, but then, as I said, you have new insight and perspectives, right?
Yeah.
And
You're exercising
creativity.
your brain muscle if there's a muscle there. Yeah.
True.
Yes,
My
absolutely.
oldest daughter had trouble reading in second grade, and she was a very intellectual child. And I took her to an optometrist who specialized in vision therapy because her eyes were not working together.
Oh.
And so we did exercises to repattern her brain, which was all about every aspect of movement for her. And within a few months, everything changed for her. Every door to reading opened up.
Wow.
So there's a lot of power in the repatterning of the brain
Yeah.
to whatever it is you hope to achieve.
Yeah.
Actually, that was for Professor Lin
Right.
Yun in the feng shui,
Oh.
tricks into the solution to help move the qi, move at least 27 objects or 9 objects in your space. So just by moving your books from one area to another area,
Right.
or just move the flowers and say, okay, what does it
Mhm.
mean to be over here?
Right.
That helps change the chi or the energy of ourselves within our space. So we don't have to fly first class to go to Thailand or to China or to India. We can just move our chi energy just by, moving things just within our own home, or just changing the fabric that's behind me, from orange to a blue or that. And it also, but then you think about, why am I making that change? And so that also helps move the chi energy,
Right.
wherever that we are.
It's
Yeah.
like
But
that.
the brain also has to work. When you make those changes, the brain has to make a change. Like I change the arrangement of my furniture every once in a while.
Absolutely.
And so it changes the energy, but also my brain has to change to accommodate seeing things in different places
And
and sitting in different new places. I'm sorry, go ahead, Sue.
No, and moving around those things.
Yes.
It reminds what you just said, RD, reminds me of that adjustment for finding a mate, changing your hairstyle for 27 consecutive days.
Oh.
But that's about shifting the chi of everyone else around you,
That's true too.
right?
Oh.
I better put on my blue wig since I can't.
Get your shmata out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you, Lee. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Right.
Pooh. Thanks, Winnie the Pooh.
Thank you, everyone.
very much to all of you. It's so
Have a
great.
wonderful day.
Have a
Have a
beautiful,
beautiful
day.
day, everyone.
Mwah. Peace
know.
and blessings. I love you all.
The
Love
way of
you all
Pooh.
too.
The
The
way
way